Hi, and welcome back to this week's Coach's Corner. It's our football wrap-up show as the Wildcats finish the season on Friday night. They finish in 6th place in District 1, and they finish with a 2-8 record this season after a loss to Tulsa Union. And just a comment about the Union game. Your guys, I thought, played pretty hard, Coach. It's just difficult when you get a team that good and they're in playoff mode. They were a machine the other night.
Oh yeah, they're good, and you know, where someday we would like to, you know, be a program similar to that, and you know, that's what probably every team in Oklahoma strives to do, and you know, studies what they do and things like that as far as how they develop and play. They're good coaches. They got a good program there, and it was just too much to overcome.
I don't know whether you realize this or not, but you only played 3 teams that didn't make the playoffs this year, Coach. Every non-district team Ponca City played made the playoffs, and then 4 out of our districts. So that means 7 of the 10 games were played with playoff teams. So sometimes we say it, but maybe the proof isn't there. Hey, the proof is there this year.
Sure. I mean, and all those playoff teams you said, there was a lot of them that we could have won. You know, I mean, a lot of them. There's at least 2, maybe even 3 games where we could have done a couple things different and found ourselves at least on a few of those games victorious.
Absolutely. Now, you know, we talk about how hard the team works during the season. The hard work really starts now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I really do believe that you know, to take our program to another level, it's not always what you do. You know, it's not you just come out in August and become good. You really need to start that earlier in the process, and I'm excited for this off season because, you know, I was hired in you know, last year, but you know, honestly, the staff that I have now was not what I had during the off season months and things. So I'm excited about going to off season with pretty much most of the staff intact.
And you'll have a lot of those boys that will be in off season football, but you know, I think one of the things people need to realize is that most of our starters were seniors this year, guys that'll be graduating. So it is still a very, for you, a young program, and still there's a lot of things to learn and a lot of guys that haven't played a lot of high school football.
Yes, I mean, you know, I'd like to say that we have a lot of returners coming back, and you know, things are ready to rock and roll. But you know, honestly, you're right. You know, we have a lot of young players. You know, we were because the coaching staff and us got in so late. You know, we had to rush through the schematics of things. So it's going to be nice to have an all season of trying to really install our offense and defense in a manner that is a more slower, more detailed process than in the hustle bustle when we had to do it. So you know, I look forward to that. But you're right, we got a lot of challenges. We're young. You know, our numbers are not as big as they should be in some of the juniors and sophomore class. So you know, we're going to still have to recruit some players out of the hallways and develop the guys we have. And maybe even have to play some sophomores next year, and so that's just where we're at.
They say, though, you know, it takes 3 or 4 years to turn the corner on football programs if you're going to do it the right way, and I know that that's what you preached from the time you came here, is that, you know, no matter what it takes, the length, you're going to try to do it the right way, then you don't have to go backwards again.
Sure, yeah, you know, we want to be able to, you know, play hard physical football, disciplined football, you know, with defense, a running game, and you know, and obviously you have to have a passing game nowadays. But you know, we want to do it the right way and not always have to reinvent ourselves every single year with a new offense or defense. You know, that's not how your right programs are done. You know, the 8th and 9th grade programs, you know, they're going to be, you know, we're going to have to, you know, focus on that as well, and development and players and keeping them out and things like that. So, you know, there's a lot of questions, a lot of things we're going to get done, but you're right. I think we're moving in the right direction.
Any year you beat Booker T and Enid, though, a pretty good year, Coach.
Yes, yeah. I mean, like I said, there's, you know, two games at least I'd love to have back. You know, and I'm sure a lot of coaches say that, you know, every year, but I really do say that, you know, if we could have done a couple of things different here or there. We could have added a couple more wins. But you're right, we beat Enid and we beat Booker T. You know, that Booker T win, like you said, one of the greatest wins here in a while, and it sure was.
Well, we look forward to seeing you. We'll have you back in the spring, and we'll talk a little bit about spring ball.
Okay.
And, after winter and things start to warm up a little bit, you guys will be back on the field again, won't you?
Yes. You know, and I'd like to say one thing too. One of the compliments that really has pleased me in this first year, and then I'll credit to all the coaches and the players themselves, is that everybody thought we played hard all year. Thought that we battle all the way through games, and that also, we didn't throw in the towel week 6 or 7. Obviously, week 7 we had week 7 and 8 were our two big gut wrenchers, and that we won. And I think that's a credit to those players. And a credit to the assistant coaches and stuff, really pushing these guys and keeping them in the fight when we were 0-6 and had some downtime. The guys didn't throw in the towel. They didn't look forward to just going into winter sports or in almost every ball game. I thought our guys fought all the way hard through the fourth quarter. So 2-8 was what we were, but I think there's a lot of intangible things that got accomplished.
Your team came within an eyelash of making the playoffs too, Coach.
Absolutely.
So people need to realize that. Thanks so much for your time. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Coach Allen, we'll see him back in the spring, and of course for next year's football team. For Coach Allen, Phil Turney, Coach's Corner.